Right, let's get into this conversation now. A manhunt has been launched for an inmate who's serving 6 months for theft and trespassing who escaped from Cape Town's Pollsmoor Prison. It comes as Correctional Services Department officials appeared before Parliament's Portfolio Committee to discuss remedial action recommended by the Public Protector in her report on Thabo Bester's jailbreak. The convicted murderer and Facebook rapist allegedly staged his death in a fire. This was at the then privately run Makgothi Prison in May of 2022. Let's speak now to the National Correctional Services Commissioner, Makgothi Thobakgale. Commissioner, good evening to you and thank you very much for your time. Quite an embarrassing moment here for the department. My understanding is that you were still taking the committee through the Public Protector's recommendations about the Thabo Bester escape, and then there was news about this person, Yanga Waiti, an escapee who's 35 years old. Any leads as to where he might have gone?
Well, good evening, Goli. It is true that we appeared before the Portfolio Committee to present a report on how we complied with the recommendations of the Public Protector, and our report indicates that we did comply, and the Portfolio Committee did commend the department for complying. We presented 3 documents to the Portfolio Committee. The first one is an escape prevention strategy and guidelines that we have issued out to privately managed correctional facilities, Kutama and Mangaung. The second one is a procedure on how we would handle anonymous reports and how we would protect whistleblowers. And the third one is a strategy on how we would enhance our security.
Yeah.
The Portfolio Committee raised issues that we need to address, some gaps, but also we presented limitations that we have. Yes, it is true that we have an escapee from Pollsmoor management area or correctional facility. The track and tracing team is working 24/7 to ensure that we get this offender back. We have been following leads, and we are working with the law enforcement agencies also on the ground, but it's what we are doing around the clock.
Yeah. Just explain briefly, Commissioner, why hospitals have become high-risk locations for escapees.
Well, in all correctional settings, there are areas that are high risks. And it will be, when it comes to movements outside correctional facilities, movements to court, movements to hospitals, where offenders have to go and work in the farms. This offender who escaped was actually deployed to work at our dog unit, the K9 unit. Now, if you check the position of the K9 unit, is at the far end of the correctional facility, secluded closer to the first line of a perimeter fence.
Yeah.
So these are high-risk operations, and that's why we need to deploy maximum numbers with regards to security personnel that are supposed to, ensure that this offenders don't escape. This offender was left with less than 2 months. He was classified a monitor. He had worked at the kitchen. He had worked outside the walls, but within the correctional facility. He was not classified as a high risk. He was a low risk. And we have now launched an investigation as to what is it that might have led to a lapse in security and to him actually escaping. This is an offender that was sentenced for 6 months. But when you check the profile, you will realize that this is an offender that has been in and out correctional facilities. He was sentenced for theft.
Yeah. Finally, Commissioner, there will always be a finger pointing at the prison officials, and that is why there is the element from the public protector that talks about the officials' negligence. How do you plan to nip that in the bud?
Well, I went to Pollsmoor Correctional Facility today. I had a meeting with the new regional commissioner and the management there. They presented to me a preliminary investigation report. I indicated to them that that report is not adequate because it doesn't address some areas of security lapses that I have identified myself, and some of them are captured in that report. One of the things that I also indicated to them is that I will not accept the report that does not indicate what consequence management steps are going to be taken. I've given them until tomorrow to give me a report that talks to consequence management.
Professor, the Commissioner of Correctional Services at the department, Makgothi Thobakgale, thank you very much for your time.